Continue with some stories from the education sector where teachers across the country have been asked to proceed on leave by the Ghana Education Service. Acting Director General of the GES, Charles Yao Ahetochega, confirmed the development in an interview last Tuesday when contacted to clarify why the appointments of some teachers were being terminated. I spoke earlier with the Director for Basic Education with the Ghana Education Service, Stephen Eju, on News Desk.
I think the issue is about the people teachers. And let me say that the appointment of the people teacher is a temporary measure. And normally it's just for 1 year, one academic year. So if after the one academic year we still not got any qualified teacher, then you have to reapply so that you can be considered as a people teacher. So it is not a permanent appointment within the Ghana Education Service. So that's the first explanation. And you know, for some time now, we've had difficulties getting these people, qualified trained teachers, especially in our deprived community. We train teachers and they all prefer to be in the cities and other towns and whatever. But as we speak now, we've gotten large number of qualified teachers who are prepared to go to these rural or areas or deprived communities. So the issue is simple that if you have gotten qualified teachers, then it's proper that we replace them, the people teachers with these qualified teachers. So that is the basic understanding. And as we all know, I overheard some of your people saying that we have to attach human face to it. We have really done a lot to contain all these things. So what we do is, you know, when we saw that we had all these people teachers in the rural areas, we introduced a program that we call as the Untrained Teachers Diploma Program, so that all these people teachers who were in the rural areas were to take advantage of that, so that they can also train and then become professional teachers. We started this program long time ago. And so for now, a large number of these people teachers have been trained and they are now qualified teachers who have now been given permanent appointment. They also deserve to have better qualified teachers. So not that we are not being
I see. Let's try and operationalize people teachers.
Right.
Which people fall within that bracket?
Now, people teachers are... we have two categories of people teachers. We have those who have completed junior high school, as you say, and have remained in the system for a long time. We also have another category of people who have completed the senior high school, or in the past you used to have the GCO level and whatever. So these are the two categories of teachers and the people teachers that we have in the system. So if you have come out as a senior high school graduate, but you haven't gone to the teacher training college or college of education.
I also spoke with the Greater Accra chair of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, Johnson Kennedy. He said the Ghana Education Service is being unfair to the people teachers.
Very much a welcoming news to the teaching fraternity. That's because these people have held the fort for some time in the absence of trained teachers. So we thought that a little more time would have been given to them to upgrade themselves before, so that those who will not be able to do that can be given a sack. And apart from that, I know there is this untrained teacher diploma course running, and most of them have enrolled. So those who have been enrolled to be allowed to finish, if there is anything at all. But just to give them a sack all of a sudden is rather unfortunate. And we also think that because there are a lot of teachers in the system now from universities, that is why the GES is taking this action. We shouldn't forget that we have used them for several years before. So now that we have teachers in the system who have not got posting, and we just want to replace them, just that is not unfair. It is very unfair to them.
I'll get into another conversation around this. Michael Nsoa is former Director General of the Ghana Education Service. He's joining me over the telephone. Michael, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What do you make of the decision by the GES to remove pupil teachers from the service?
Thank you very much. Let me say that this is not a new thing in the running of the GES. Pupil teachers have always been on contract for 1 year because it is the expectation of the GES that each year, with a turnout of nearly trained teachers, they will be able to fill some vacancies in the service or in the schools. So each year, pupil teachers are supposed to renegotiate their contract for 1 year. And I think at this time of our development, we are getting more teachers from many of the teacher training institutions. Some of them are even not. We are not taking notice of them.
But Michael, you agree with me that these pupil teachers plugged the loopholes in the rural areas as far as giving education to rural dwellers is concerned. Taking them out or terminating the contracts the education service has with them, does it not come to the detriment of the child who wants to go to school?
No, I'm not sure they will be able to replace all pupil teachers in 1 year. It will take some time, about 5 years before we'll be able to phase out all the pupil teachers in the system. In the meantime, some of them are even almost completing their sandwich courses to have a qualification to teach in Ghanaian schools. So I'm not sure. It depends on the categories of teachers in the various districts. I think district education officers will have to decide who to replace. That is depending on the number of newly trained teachers that have been allocated to the district, because it is not nationwide that everybody should go. I mean, I don't think that is the import of the letter, because they cannot replace everybody now.
I'll come back to that. Ibrahim Kwekujesi is an educationist. He's joined this conversation. Ike, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Ike, your thoughts on this move by the Education Service to completely remove all pupil teachers across the country? It's terminating its contract with them.
Actually, this is not a new policy. It's always been that the headmaster, for example, could replace a specialist with a diploma holder or a degree holder. So it's nothing new. My worry, however, is that if we do not have all the trained teachers we need to replace these pupil teachers, what happens to the school children? Again, the Ashantis say the less powerful traditional priest who has kept the sick person alive until the arrival of the more powerful traditional priest must also be acknowledged and praised. And our Nigerian brothers say, they have an expression, good riddance to bad rubbish. People teachers are not bad rubbish. They have been holding the fort. If now we have enough trained teachers to replace them, please, we should treat them like human beings, like Ghanaians, and send them off properly. It shouldn't be the case where months after they've been laid off, whatever should go to them doesn't go to them. That would be very bad.
Michael, you're former director at the Ghana Education Service. Is it possible, as the Education Service is telling us now, that indeed they have all the qualified teachers, professional teachers they need for the rural areas, and these teachers have agreed to go to the rural areas, and we don't have use, in their own words, they do not have space to retain pupil teachers anymore?
I will be surprised if the GS is saying that they have enough teachers or adequate numbers to replace all pupil teachers. As I said earlier, I'm not sure, and I don't think it can happen in a year or two, maybe 5 years' time. So the letter, for me, I think the interpretation is somewhat misleading because it cannot replace all pupil teachers. Mind you, there are children in schools all over the place, especially in the difficult areas. So if you don't have teachers to replace them, why do you send a blanket letter to everybody? I mean, normally this is done at the district level, where every year, those that are to be replaced by newly trained teachers are done. And if this is a blanket letter saying that all pupil teachers should stop, I am sure they're going to have problems because there are areas where, we don't have enough teachers. I'm not sure we have enough trained teachers.
One of the reasons,
no.
Another of the reason given is the fact that not only should pupils enjoy their right to education, but it should be quality education, which in the GES opinion earlier today, pupil teachers may not be able to give, and hence and so then it had come to a question of have the avenues been created for these teachers, these pupil teachers, to upgrade themselves? What is available within the Ghana Education Service system to help the teachers upgrade themselves?
No, there has been a scheme in place since 2003 where these teachers upgrade their qualifications on the job. And this is the sandwich courses, which is called Untrained Teachers Basic Education Program, where they enroll on sandwich courses. And there are about, as far as I can remember, that's at the end of the first and second phases, there were about 25,000 of them that have benefited from this scheme. And it is ongoing. So, and I am sure those who are still on the program will be given the benefit of the doubt and be retained to complete and also reward them for putting the fort to this time.
Okay. Is that enough as an opportunity being created by the education service to help pupil teachers upgrade themselves? Is that enough?
Well, if they are upgraded to the point where they know what they are going to teach, they know the method to adopt, and they have the right moral spirit, that is okay. But let me tell you something. After the overthrow of the Nkrumah government, a number of training colleges were turned into secondary schools. Because the idea was that there were enough trained teachers. Then the exodus to Nigeria and other places took place. And suddenly, instead of having every school employing a trained teacher, there were more people teachers. So if there is this upgrading, then the understanding should be that they've been put to a level where they can qualify to teach in our schools. My worry is that they should be thrown out, nothing given to them. And I think the supposition is that we have enough trained teachers who are overstaffing the schools. Do we have enough? Remember, every year, some will go on retirement. Some will die. Pardon that scenario. Some will die. Some will simply leave for greener pastures inside the country or possibly outside it. So when we plan, we should plan ahead. We should be able to tell ourselves that in the next 10 years, we will not need people teachers. There will be enough teachers. At a time when they say they're not going to pay teacher trainee allowances, and the trained teachers coming from the colleges of education would have to apply. Are we sure we are going to have enough teachers? Thanks to you people in radio, television, and the newspapers, we often hear of one teacher handling 2 or 3 different classes. Are we ready? Or is it because we feel that so many teachers, let us cut the number, drive the others away, and we will still have enough? Are we going to have enough? Are we taking consideration the fact that some will die, some will retire, some will leave?
Pleasure talking to you, gentlemen. Michael Insoa is former Director General for the Ghana Education Service. Ibrahim Kwekujesi is also an educationist.